Hello everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to use the e-commerce product extractor tool. This tool is designed to extract the items an e-commerce website is selling along with metadata such as their price, their SKU number, their image links and loads more stuff. So before we start showing you how the software works, there's a few things to know. Firstly, it's for small to medium-sized websites, so if you point it at Amazon, it won't work because Amazon is very sensitive to web scraping, and Amazon will throw up all kinds of custom captures and quite advanced anti-scraping techniques. So it probably won't work on a site like Amazon or a site as big as Amazon. It's designed for small to medium sized e-commerce websites. So let's walk through a quick demo of how this product works. So the first thing you need is an example product from the e-commerce store that you want to pull the items from. And as you can see here, we're going to extract products from a website called Hush Puppies, and we're going to use these boots as a test product first. So we've entered the link to the test product here. We'll leave all the settings as default for now, and we'll scrape all of the pages for now, and we'll run the single product check first. Now, depending on what method the software decides to use to extract products, it will either be instant or it will probably take about 30 seconds. The reason that for some websites it can take 30 seconds is because every time you put in a website to test, it will check if it's a Shopify website, because about a third of e-commerce websites are now Shopify, so it makes sense to pull e-commerce products through the Shopify API if it's a Shopify website. So when you put your test product in, it has to pull all the items from the API and check that it can find the one that you want. So you can see in this example here, we entered this test product here, and it's done a single product check to make sure that it can find the product and understand everything the Shopify API is returning. You can see we've got a product ID, can tell whether it's in stock, the SKU, the price. So what we'll do now is we're going to try and scrape some product information from a website that doesn't use Shopify, it doesn't have open schema markup, it doesn't have any open graph data, so the product information is not in any sort of format that is designed to be read by a computer system. So it's going to be quite difficult, but let's see what it does. So we've put in an example product here, and we'll run the single product check, and you can see it fails because no product was found in the URL, because there's no Shopify API to pull information from, there's no open graph data, there's no schema markup. So what we can do is we can enable HTML guessing, and that will look in the HTML, and if it thinks it finds something that it's fairly confident is a piece of data we might want, it will present it to us. So now we've enabled that, let's see what we find. So now you can see we were able to extract the product name, but also we were able to extract the price from within the HTML. So even on websites that are not designed to give product information to other computer systems, we can still extract some information from those websites. Now for the next demo, we're going to use a e-commerce website that doesn't use a Shopify API, but it does have, like most e-commerce websites, its product data encoded in some way that is designed for a computer to read. And in this instance, Canva.com uses schema markup. So we'll do our single page check, and you can see instantly we're able to pull out all kinds of nice information through the schema markup within this product's web page. We've got product ratings, prices, SKUs, stock statuses, really useful information there. So now we know that the software can read the data we want, the product data, out of the pages. We're going to start a full website scan. Now if you're scanning your own website and you know what sort of connection concurrency, so how many requests we fire at it at a time, if you know how many it can handle, then feel free to crank it up all the way. But if you're scraping a competitor's website and you're not sure if you're going to be blocked or not, I'd turn it down to something like 3. Now we'll start our full scan, and when that's done, we'll take a look at the results. And as you can see, we've come back a few minutes later, and we now have 936 products extracted from this website. And we've got product name, image link, brand name, price, currency, SKU, stock status, loads of really useful information that was extracted using the schema markup on the product pages. Now it's worth noting there's a 2,000 page limit on a website you scan, so we won't scan more than 2,000 pages at the moment. And that's simply because we don't want to overload the system. But that probably will be increased in the near future. And finally, you can export all of the results in a CSV format. So that concludes our little tutorial and demo. I hope the product is useful for you, and as I said at the start, it's not for huge websites, it's for small to medium sized websites, and it will try and use the Shopify API, but if they're not using Shopify, it will look at schema markup, it'll then look at Open Graph, and if the website you're trying to scrape doesn't have any of that kind of stuff, which most e-commerce websites do now, then it will try and work out the data that you need from the HTML.